Are you a breastfeeding mother who's concerned about how to reduce fever in your baby? In this video, I'm going to give you some tips from moms on how to reduce your baby's fever while still being able to breastfeed them. 1. What are some strategies for reducing a baby's fever while still being able to breastfeed? Breastfeeding is one of the best ways to comfort a baby with a fever and provide them with vitamins, minerals, antibodies, and calories. However, it's important to keep safety in mind when breastfeeding while your baby has a fever. Here are some tips from moms on how to reduce a baby's fever while still being able to breastfeed. Offer smaller, more frequent feedings when your baby has a fever. They may not be interested in eating as much at once. Try offering shorter but more frequent feedings throughout the day instead, which can help reduce their temperature steadily over time. Take breaks between feedings if your baby doesn't seem to be drinking enough milk. Try taking breaks between feedings. This will give your baby a chance to cool down and be more comfortable while still getting the nourishment they need. Use lukewarm water before and after each breastfeeding session. Use lukewarm water to wipe away any sweat on your baby's body, which can help reduce their temperature slightly. Pat them dry afterward with a soft towel or cloth. Keep track of breathing. Monitor your baby's breathing rate during each feeding, as this is an indication of how well their fever is being controlled. If you notice any increased respiratory rate or difficulty breathing, contact your pediatrician immediately for advice. Give plenty of fluids. Make sure your baby is getting plenty of fluids when they have a fever. Offer breast milk or formula every 2 to 3 hours in addition to water, juice, and any other liquids that are safe for your baby to consume. 2. Are there any home remedies that may help reduce a baby's fever? Yes, there are several home remedies that may help reduce a baby's fever. Before trying any of these remedies, check with your pediatrician or other healthcare providers to make sure they are appropriate for your child. Some popular home remedies include cool baths. Give your baby a cool bath or sponge bath to help bring down their body temperature. Make sure to use lukewarm water and not cold water, as it can shock the system and potentially raise the fever. Herbal teas. One popular remedy is chamomile tea. Give your baby 1 teaspoon 3 milliliters per day mixed with some breast milk or formula after consulting with your pediatrician first. You can also give them an herbal tea to drink, such as catnip or peppermint. Cold compresses. Apply a cold cloth to your baby's forehead when they have a fever, and change it out every 20 minutes or so. This can help lower their body temperature and reduce discomfort. Fluids. When your baby is sick, make sure they are getting plenty of fluids to keep them hydrated. Breast milk is especially beneficial as it contains antibodies that may help fight the virus. Feeding on demand can also provide comfort for babies during this time. These home remedies may be helpful in reducing your baby's fever, but if symptoms persist or worsen after trying these treatments, contact your pediatrician immediately for further instructions. They will be able to recommend the best course of action for your child. 3. Are there any over-the-counter medications that may be used to help reduce a baby's fever? Yes, many moms have found success with over-the-counter medications such as acetaminophen or ibuprofen. However, it is important to read the labels carefully and follow the dosage instructions exactly. Never give your baby any medication without first consulting a healthcare provider. Some medications may not be safe for babies under 3 months of age, so it's best to get approval before giving anything. 4. Are there any specific foods or drinks that may help reduce a baby's fever? Some parents have reported that warm cold baths and lukewarm drinks like coconut water, weekly brewed chamomile tea, or diluted apple juice can help reduce a baby's fever. Additionally, some moms have noted that offering plain yogurt or oatmeal may provide relief. Serving a light meal such as boiled vegetables and rice with mashed banana is also a great option. It's important to only use these options if approved by your child's doctor, and not feed them anything too cold or hot. 5. What are some signs and symptoms that may indicate that a baby has a fever? One of the most common signs that a baby has a fever is when their body temperature rises to 100.4 F38C or higher. Other symptoms that may indicate a fever in a baby include flushed cheeks, hot forehead, sweating, increased sleepiness or crankiness, lack of appetite, and decreased energy levels. If your baby is exhibiting any of these signs, you should contact your pediatrician immediately to rule out any underlying medical conditions and get advice on managing the fever while breastfeeding. 6. Are there any activities that a breastfeeding mother can do to help reduce a baby's fever? Yes, some activities that a breastfeeding mother can do to help reduce a baby's fever include using cool, damp cloths on the baby's forehead, arms, and legs. Giving the baby plenty of fluids like breast milk or formula to stay hydrated. Making sure the room is cool and not too hot, as overheating can make fever worse, and encouraging the baby to rest. Other tips from moms who have experienced fevers during breastfeeding include taking your own temperature regularly to check for an illness that could cause an elevated temperature in your baby, and monitoring how often you're nursing. If you feel like you need a break or are getting too tired, take some time away from breastfeeding while still providing all necessary nourishment through bottle feeding. 7. Are there any other tips or pieces of advice that breastfeeding mothers should keep in mind when dealing with a fever in their baby? Yes, in addition to the tips mentioned above, there are other ways to help reduce fever while breastfeeding. Keep your baby hydrated. Make sure they are getting plenty of fluids in order to keep their body temperature regulated. If a fever persists for more than 24 hours, contact a doctor immediately for further advice and treatment. Monitor your baby's temperature every few hours, especially if it is over 101 degrees Fahrenheit, 38.3 Celsius. If you have an infant with a fever and feel that breastfeeding may be causing discomfort, try offering smaller meals or shorter nursing times in order to allow them some relief. Take steps to lower the ambient temperature in the room to naturally cool your baby down. Don't use cold compresses or ice baths as a way to reduce fever while breastfeeding, as this can be dangerous. If your baby has a fever, it is important to keep them away from crowds and other people who may be ill. This will help prevent the spread of any infection. It's clear that taking the necessary steps to reduce fever while breastfeeding can be a bit of a challenge. Thankfully, with these tips and advice in mind, you should have everything you need to help keep your baby comfortable during this difficult time. If you found this video helpful or if it raised any questions for you, please leave us a comment below and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.